Lexi St. Laurent Hartman, founder and CEO of iHeart Content. We're a boutique bilingual content agency, and we believe that authentic content can make the world a better place. By leaving behind the highlight reels in favor of real-life moments, we believe we can counter the widespread feelings of inadequacy and disconnection so often magnified by social media and the internet. And we believe it's better for business too. These are 5 ways leading authentically as a woman will affect your leadership. Number 1, you'll discover that there's power in vulnerability. Have you ever considered that your greatest strength might not be your unyielding resolve or relentless drive? Maybe it's something far more personal. I'm talking about the power of vulnerability and how embracing it as part of your leadership style can turn your business into a magnet for the right people. I discovered this in my own journey towards more authentic leadership. The more I embraced my real self, openly sharing my beliefs, values, and the principles I stand by, the more I began to attract clients and collaborators who weren't just interested in the work I was doing, but were deeply aligned with why I was doing it. This connection wasn't superficial. It's rooted in shared values and mutual understanding that goes so far beyond business transactions. Think about that. When you lead with authenticity, you wake up every day knowing you're not just going to work. You're stepping into a space where team members and clients resonate with your mission. It makes work a joy, full of projects centered in purpose and passion. I invite you to think of vulnerability not as the sign of a weak leader, but as a superpower. Let your real self be the beacon for those who believe in what you're doing and are excited to go along for the ride. Number 2, you will challenge traditional leadership roles, and some people won't like it. Sticking to your authentic self in leadership can ruffle some feathers. It's true. When you challenge traditional leadership roles, especially as a woman, you're bound to face resistance. Some people cling to the old school belief that leadership should be assertive, dominant, and yes, traditionally masculine. But I think leadership isn't about fitting into a predefined mold. It's about breaking it. I've encountered my fair share of pushback throughout my career. I've parted ways with clients and contractors, not because our goals differed, but because our values didn't align. My approach to leadership, one that values openness, empathy, and inclusivity, just didn't sit well with everyone, and that's okay. All of this has led me to realize that the narrative that women have to emulate a masculine style to be effective leaders is not just outdated, it's fundamentally flawed. Authentic leadership, leading from a place that's genuinely you, it might be challenging and scary, but it can also be transformative. It breaks stereotypes and invites a richer, more diverse perspective on what it means to lead. So if you felt rejected for simply being yourself in leadership, remember this. Authenticity is your strength, not your Achilles heel. Some will question your methods. Some might even walk away. But the space you create by being true to yourself is filled with more meaningful connections, mutual respect, and a deeper sense of purpose. Ladies, we don't have to be the man to lead. Let's be ourselves in all our complexity and our diversity. Number 3, authentic leadership will shift your priorities. Where once you might have prioritized expediency and avoided risk, you'll eventually come to put your values at the foreground of each decision you make. Embracing authenticity has reshaped my priorities. I've learned to relentlessly chase alignment, and that's led me to focus more on the big picture. It's true, it's not always the easiest path to take. Making decisions based on values and ethics can challenge the status quo and require more deliberation. But the impact of these choices is far-reaching. You begin to look at each decision you make through the lens of your true self and your core values. You're more mindful of the long-term effects of your actions, not just on your business, but on your team, clients, and community as well. It's not always easy, but in the end, when you lead with your authentic values and ethics, you create a legacy of meaningful impact and sustainable success. Number 4, your emotional IQ will grow. Leading with authenticity encourages self-reflection and empathy. We have all been there, quick to judge, quick to assume, especially when we're faced with the missteps or struggles of those around us. But prioritizing authenticity in your leadership can help rein in those automatic responses. Emotional intelligence is something that can be cultivated. It's a habit. We have to practice pausing our knee-jerk reactions to consciously consider a more compassionate perspective. When you prioritize authenticity in leadership and put it at the forefront of your business, you get a lot of practice flexing that empathy muscle. Through this practice, empathy moves from a conscious effort to a more automatic response. It becomes second nature. When we practice self-reflection, we learn to take a step back and see the world through the lens of our own experiences, good and bad. And it makes it easier to remember that, like us, everyone needs a little grace sometimes. Number 5, you'll inspire others to lead authentically too. By leading authentically, we can democratize the concept of leadership itself. Leadership becomes less about titles or hierarchies and more about influence, impact, and inspiring those around you. And when we embody this truth in big and small ways, we encourage others to step into their own leadership potential, and the impact can reach far beyond the office. When we demonstrate the power of authenticity and vulnerability to affect change, we show others a new way forward. We give them a new possibility and perspective on how to be a force of good in their homes and communities. The world needs more leaders who are less focused on posturing and curating their image and more focused on being a catalyst for positive change. Leading with authenticity means you're creating a safe space for others to do just that. Thanks again for joining me today. I'm Lexi St. Laurent Hartman with iHeart Content, and this was 5 ways leading authentically as a woman will affect your leadership.